Terraform server. And we were dealing with this guy. Okay, so we created a file called variables.tf. And here I gave a default value. If you are not talking about this, then let's go here. Let's go to the first one. Cat main.tf. So here it is, vars instance type. Okay, now you have to define this vars instance type. So ls minus l, and you named it as number.tf. So you can open this cat. So here, this is the variable defined. So we saw that when we go ahead and say Terraform plan, okay, it will ask you that what is the value of this instance type? What is the value? Now, because you have not provided any instance type, it is asking you the value. In case you would have provided a value, or you would have given it like this. Okay, if you would have given it like this, give me 1 second for that. It is there in the GitHub. This is Terraform demo course. Variables. So if you provide it like this, it will take it and it will start the work. Terraform plan, then -var, and then whatever you want to give. So here I'm giving T2 small, and it will take T2 small and it will give me the plan. So here, if you see, there's 1 more second, please. Hey, sorry guys, so project work is going on. Anyhow, so you can see here I gave this type of a command, something like this. So I'm overwriting the default values, and hence I get this thing. Now let me do a Control-C. Let's clear it out. Now today I'll teach you something extra. So as of now, till this point of time, you have seen TF states. I will teach you a special kind of a variable called TF vars. It's a file actually. Okay, let's see how it looks and how to operate with that. So let me say, I will say mkdir, and I'm creating a new folder. So let me say fourth folder, CD fourth folder. And here, as of now, I don't have anything. Okay, nothing. Even if I do LA, I don't have anything. Now let's start. So the first thing what I will do is I'll create main.tf. So somebody was asking what is main.tf. So man, all these days we are doing that only. The first input what we put is my main.tf. So let me just use that. Give me 1 second for that. Give me 1 second now. Let's start this guy. Okay, so I start here. So my provider is AWS. Okay, my region is US East 1. Okay, I don't want access key and secret access key, so I'm removing it. Okay, then in the resource section, I'm creating an AWS instance. It is my EC2, and this AMI should correspond to US East 1. So let me just quickly go here and take a AMI so that it matches my requirement. Okay, so this is the AMI which they have given. I think it will be outdated. Okay, then it is using T2 micro. Now, if you see carefully, they're doing something additional on that. They are creating an EIP or elastic IP, and it is going and sitting inside a VPC. So as of now, I have not defined any VPC, so it will sit inside my default VPC. Okay, so EIP. Now, what is the EIP? So if you come here and check your instance, any instance for the reason, this instance will have something called public IP. Now you might have seen at this point of time that if you stop this instance and then again create it, this public IP is erased. Obviously the private IP remains as it is, but this is erased. And then a new one is created when you start it. So generally what we do is if you want to fix this IP address, so you come here and take a elastic IP. So elastic IP is nothing but a static IP, which you can take. So it says allocate elastic IP and Amazon's pool of elastic IP, and you allocate one to your name. 5 elastic IPs are free. So I got 43, 204, 158, 49. You can come and say actions, and you can say associate this elastic IP with an instance. Now, which instance is running for you right now? Terraform server. And you can say associate. So basically what good will happen is now when you come to your instance, you will see that it is old one only. Okay, so as of now elastic IP it is not showing. I'm going to refresh it. Okay, see here, this elastic IP is coming here. Now the benefit of this elastic IP is that it becomes static. So even if you stop your machine, start it, then again stop it, again start it, it will not change. But if you're not using the elastic IP, your public IP will always keep changing. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to do with the script. So I say my provider is AWS. I'm going to create a instance in US East 1. This is my instance. This is my AMI ID, and the type is T2 micro. Then I'm saying I'm going to create an elastic IP. Okay, and it will go under the default VPC. Then I'm saying that associate this elastic IP along with my EC2 instance. So I say AWS instance, my EC2 ID. So here you will get a EC2 instance, and here you will get a EIP. So I'm saying in this stage, I'm saying associate both of them. It means to my instance ID, allocate the, why did it stop? Anyway, let me just, so something happened in the background. It became inactive. Let me duplicate this again. What happened? Something happened in the background. Did the machine stop somehow? Somebody stopped it. It is running. Then why? Okay, let's connect it again. I don't know what happened, but it stopped abruptly. So come here and say new session. So you can use it. EC2 minus. See, this also getting to mute. Anyhow, we can connect fresh. EC2 minus user at the rate whatever IP you have. Appearance, you can change the font size. And SSH auth browse, and you can take your DevOps KP and open it up. Accept. This is inactive. Close this. This is the active one. Sudo su hyphen. Then you can say cd. I'm working with this fourth folder, ls minus l. So I don't have that. Main.tf was not able to save. Nano main.tf, and I took this piece of code. Okay, let me just add it one by one. So provider is AWS, region is US East 1, US East 1. And delete these guys. I'm trying to create an EC2 instance. This AMI is something which I'm going to change according to my setup. You are in Mumbai, so anyhow that would have not worked, but that's okay. Let me go to North Virginia and take a AMI here. Remove this AMI. Then instance type T2 micro, allocate a elastic IP to me and associate this elastic IP to my instance. So this is EIP and this is my instance. Okay. Keep going down. Now, when you create an instance, definitely you will need a security group. So you say that I'm going to create a security group and you can give a name. Let me say the name I am giving is demo security group. And inside which VPC are you going to create? So it says you need to add your VPC ID here. So let me just remove this guy. It goes and sits inside my default VPC. Okay. So let me come here and take this default VPC's ID. This is my default VPC ID. So these things will be different for you. Okay. So make sure you're giving it correctly, these values. Okay. You can, if you want, you can put it inside double quotes also. That is also going to help you. But if you not needed, not mandatory, but in case you give, it's okay. Then ingress is nothing but the incoming traffic, or how would you like to allow the traffic to come. So I'm more interested in port 22. Okay. The protocol is TCP, and this is AWS EIP public IP 32. So this is nothing but your EIP which gets associated here. So basically you can say that I will first create a VPC. Inside that VPC, I'll create an elastic IP, and that elastic IP I'll associate it with my instance. Okay. So this is what I'm trying to do here. This is not required. So this way of allocating the value, okay, is called as reference. You're referencing something, AWS EIP LB public IP, and you are taking that IP address. Let me just run and check first. So I'll say Terraform validate. Okay, so it says provider is missing. So just do a Terraform init. And now run the validate command. Now plan. Now here, see what all will happen. Okay, so here it is saying 4 items will be created. VPC, sorry, a security group will be created. Then AWS EC2 instance will be created. Elastic IP association will be done, and your EIP will be created. Now, yesterday somebody was asking, do I need to take care of the sequence? No, you don't have to take care of the sequence. The sequence will be automatically taken care by my Terraform auto approve. should not the protocol base be SSH given to port 22? That's what I did now. I changed the protocol. See here. I changed the protocol 22. So here it is saying I will first create a EIP, elastic IP. This is the elastic IP for you. Then it is saying that I will create a security group for you. So this is the security group. And the third thing, it is saying that I'm going to create an EC2 instance. And then finally, the EC2 instance and the EC2 instance and this will be associated to each other. So let me just wait for that also. So 4 items will be created. So here the referencing is very important. You create in stage 1 and you reference the same in stage 2. So that is how we are doing. So I can see 4 resources has been added. So the first is EIP. So let's check one by one. Okay. I'll show you a way in which you can check it. Anyhow, instance EC2. Here you will see there is something called EIP, elastic IP. This is the one. And if you, this is the one. So this elastic IP got created, step number 1. Then if you go to security group, you will see your security group getting created. Let me just pull it out. You see some demo thing got created, or you can do something like this. Take this guy, security group, put it here. You can see demo security group got created. If you go inside the security group, I have only opened port number 22. So SSH, and that too, it is opened only for this public IP which I have given. Then it created an EC2 instance and associated it. So let me take the EC2 instance. I'm interested in this EC2 instance. Sorry, my bad. EC2 dashboard. And you can see this thing here running. So these 4 items have been created. Now, why did I go ahead and create these 4 items? So this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a file called tfvars. Okay, let's clear all these things. I will just do a Terraform destroy of this thing. Okay, there are a few questions. Let me take that first. Should I see that what I mean is the double quote value or does not matter? No, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You can put it in single quote, double quote, or you don't give anything. That is also okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to destroy this thing and I will now create it with some different parameter. Okay. Destroy. So let's destroy this entire setup which got created. So basically all the 4 items will get destroyed. So let's wait for 5-10 seconds. It will just delete everything. Okay. Now we will create a file called nano terraform.tfvars. Okay. And inside this tfvars file, we will define it like this. Instance type is equal to T2 large. Okay. Now if you come here, I have a new file here called main.tf and there is a tfvars. Now what I will do is while creating the setup, I will go and do something like this. Wait, let me just take that instance type here. Let me change that. 1 second. Let me go to main.tf and let me not hard code this value. Wait, I think there's something wrong. So this is vars dot instance type. Let me check once. Instance var dot instance type. Okay. Var dot instance type. Okay. Control X, Y, enter. Now, when you run this, it will go and look for that value. So let's plan. So here, if you see, it is saying that you are referencing or you are looking for a variable called instance type, but it has not been declared. Okay. So it says you can use tfvar as an environment variable and you can declare it. Okay. That is one way of doing it. Let me show you that way first. So you can globally declare this variable here only. You can do something like this because you are using a Linux machine. You can do something like this. You can say export tf underscore var, okay, and then the instance type. If you remember the error above, it says use like this tfvar and then the actual variable. So I'm doing the same. Export tfvar and then the instance type, my variable. I'm mentioning it as t2 nano. Okay. Now, if you just come and check echo the value of this field tfvar type, you will see it is showing as t2 nano. So now if you run your command plan, it will automatically pick the, okay, so it is still showing me an error. It is saying reference to an undeclared variable, this thing. Oof. Still says it is undeclared 7 instance type is var this thing. The input variable name instance type has not been declared. This variable declared with instance type block. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me try to declare it directly like this. Export instance type and let's display the value of this. Okay, let's now run it. It's not taking the value of this type. So ideally it says the root does not declare a variable called instance type, but the value is found in the file called terraform tfvars. If you meant that the value, add the variable block in the configuration. Okay, wait. So it is saying something like this. Give me 1 second. Okay, so this is English terraform tfvars. Okay, you can do something like this. So I'm saying Terraform plan use vars instance type as T2 small. So this will work. This is also not working. Instance type, the variable name value undeclared command line, but needs root declare a variable use add variable block to the configuration. No, I don't want to do that. No, that is already done. Wait. So I'm saying Terraform plan There is a file, variable file, which I have declared, Terraform vars, take the value from there. Let's see now. This is strange, man. It is not picking the value. So it is telling that, oh, okay, instance underscore type is var dot instance type. Should not be the case. Wait a second. Now let me see. Then the code, is there a problem? Let's check that. But why is it not taking it? Instance type.
Okay.
It should take it. Anyhow, let me figure it out why it is not taking it. Let me do one thing. Let me just create one more folder, mkdir, and here I will say fifth folder. I will go inside this fifth folder. Here I will say main.tf, and here I'll create a conditional execution. Okay, something like this. Give me 1 minute for this conditional execution. I'll show you how this conditional execution works. So I'm saying provider is going to be AWS, region is going to be US East 1. Now, I'm saying if, now how do you count, how do you interpret this, or how do you read this? Now, this is a conditional execution. Okay, so there is a way test. Okay, so it says if is test is equal to equation. Okay, so first let me come to this variable also. Let me create this tfvars file here. And here I will put it as false. So basically I'm declaring a variable is test and I'm declaring it as false. Okay, now back to my main.tf. Now here I'm saying there is a variable called is test. Okay, and there is a value which I have passed in the background. Here I'm saying the resource which you have to create is an AWS instance, and it is dev. The AMI I'm going to provide. So let me just do a small check here. So I'm going to do something like this. If the implementation is being done on dev environment, I need this kind of a machine. And if the implementation is being done on production, let me say I need a Red Hat machine. So different AMI. Okay. So my provider is AWS. The region where you have to create it is US East 1. I have a variable called is test, and there will be some value to this, which I'm passing from my tfvar file. I'm saying the resource which has to be created is AWS instance dev, but there is a condition. Var is test, means if the value of var is test is true, then create 3 instances of this variety. If it is not true, then 0, means simply skip this step. Second one, resource AWS instance prod. So I'm saying if the var is set in is test is false, so here it is looking for true. Here it is looking for false. So it will totally depend what value you have passed here. So I have passed the value as is test is false. So now if I come back to my main.tf, count equal to var I is test true. No, this is not true. So it will not go here. It will go here. 0 means this complete step will be skipped. Nothing will happen here. At the same time, resource AWS instance is prod. Okay. Instance type is T2 large. Okay. And count says var is test false. Yes. So one instance with T2 large with this AMI with this name will be created. Let's run it and check. So let me just come here and say Terraform init unclosed configuration block. Baba. Wait, let's see what is the problem here. Nano. So this is closed, this is closed, this is closed. Okay, the last one is not closed. Control X, Y. Come here and say Terraform init G provider. Okay, should be in the provider. Finally. So the init is working. It is initializing the content. Now just come here and say Terraform validate. So success. Now let's plan it. Terraform plan. Now see carefully what is getting created. Come at the top. So instance prod is getting created. See here, AWS instance prod. So if you see the code, is test is false. So this guy is not, even if it is getting evaluated, the count is 0. But when the is test is false, it comes here. Says, is it false? The answer is yes. So this prod instance will be created, which I can see here. AWS instance prod 0. 0 in the sense the counter becomes from 0. This is the AMI which it is picking it up. So if you go to your code, cat main.tf. So just pick this code and keep it so that I can check what we have done. Or we will do one more thing. We'll put it in the GitHub. So I will put it here. And I will say, add a new file, create a new file. I will say conditional.tf. And then you have to create this file also. So I'll put it, this guy also. I will say created conditional.tf. So I have passed the value as false. So it is coming and evaluating this guy. var.isTest equal to false, which is true. So this one is getting evaluated. So AWS instance prod is getting evaluated. It is picking this AMI, DFA, that ends with DFA. See here, the instance getting picked is DFA. Then the instance type getting picked up is T2 large. And it is going to go ahead and create this particular instance. As of now, I don't want to create it. Just wanted to show you that if this guy is my value, is test is false. So this will be picked up and this one will be taken care. But the moment you change your values, so let me just come here and say nano ls minus L. So I'm going to change this guy Terraform vars nano Terraform vars. Now from false, I'm making it as true. So now what will happen? When we go to this code, it will say count var.isTest equal to true. So it's a yes. So I need 3 instances, okay, with T2 micro and this AMI type, and it will be dev0. Let's do a Terraform plan. So see here, a big list came up. So AWS instance dev0, the first instance, this is the AMI, A63 at the end, A63 at the end, and this is T2 micro, 0. Then this is second one, and this is the third one. So 3 instances are getting created because here we told the instance count will be 3. Okay, so you can see the code. It says if this is test is true, then create 3 instances for me with dev0, dev1, dev2. Take this AMI and take this as my instance type, and rest other values will be default. Okay, so this is what we have for today. Now, if you have any questions, please let me know.
So if I want to do only for this AMI, for same AMI, I want to do dev, stage, and production. So
For
then,
AMI. So for AMI, we generally don't do like that. Okay, because yes, it can be done. This can be done. Okay, but for AMI, we do mapping. So which I will teach you, because if you say, it is more of a, like, if you are in US East 1, you have a different AMI. If you are in AP South 1, you have a different AMI. So in the coming class, I will teach you there is something called list mapping. Okay, so depending on which region you are, okay, you will choose an AMI. So as of now, you see here, this is hard coded, right? So going ahead, we will not want to hard code anything, means giving the value, because let me say you are running the code, okay, and it is running fine for you. Now, all of a sudden, AWS makes a change and they have scrapped this AMI. They don't support it anymore. So your code unnecessary will go for a change, which is not recommended. Why should you suffer if AWS is changing something? So we will dynamically populate this. You as a developer, you will say that I want to run the code in US East 1. In fact, you don't give this value also. Automatically it will pick. But anyhow, when you say US East 1, accordingly, one image will be picked up. If you say AP South 1, another image will be picked up. So that is called list mapping. But if the same logic you want to apply, yes, you can do that in for AMI also.
okay. So how do we know that this where is test is true? How can you identify this?
See, you are passing the value, right? In your TF vars file, you are passing the value.
But it's false, right? Is test is false.
So that's, see, this is false. No, here it is false. In my example, it is not false. In my example, it is true. Now, because it is true, it is following this condition. It is not talking about this. False, 0.
Okay.
Guys, once we are done with the basic, okay, it will just take Terraform apply -- auto approve, and it will run. It will create everything in a flash. So running the script is not important. Understanding what is written in the script and why it is written is important. So please let me know if you have any questions here.
If you want both, then we need to put true and one server production, right? Just
so let me say you want, even if it is true or false, I need 1. So instead of 0, you put 1.
Okay.
So this can be used like, see, suppose in morning time, I need 5 servers, and evening time, I need only 1 server. So I can say 5, 1, something like this.
You mean 5:1?
5:1. 5 in the morning time, 1 in the afternoon or evening time, something like that.
So then the 3 is reference to morning and the 0 is in the evening, you are saying.
Yes. In this example, 3 is so 3 is for morning and 0 is for evening, or rather I can say in dev I need more servers because I'm just running T2 micro, so I'm taking 3, but in prod I'm running one big server, so I need only one, something like this I can say.
But because this is 3 servers and this is 1 server, right? But you're saying this is morning and this is
No, morning and this thing I'm just randomly saying that is not, don't hold that one. Okay, hold this guy. Dev, my machine is T2 micro, and in prod I need T2 large. Okay.
Is dev and prod, it is the name of instance?
No. Prod is the environment. Prod is the environment. AWS instance, prod. In this case, see here, when it is getting created, it gets created by this. AWS instance dot dev. See, name can be anything. You give any name. That is not at all a problem. But this is what I'm trying to explain. This guy. This expression is what I'm trying to explain. This expression is the most important thing here. By TF-vars, I'm passing the value to this is test. Based on that, it is getting evaluated and then it is taking a decision.
And one more question, because if I name as well parallelly.
Hello. Hello.
Go ahead, someone is speaking.
Nobody is having a question here, I guess.
Yeah, because my question is, another question is, if suppose we are using dev environment and it is creating 3 servers, right? Dev 0, dev 1, dev 2, right? So if I want to change like dev 1, dev 2, dev 3.
That can also be parameterized. You give me some time for that. I will show you that also. That can, in fact, the entire script can be parameterized.
Okay.
Okay, fine. See you then, guys. This TF-vars, I will show you more this thing on this. There's one question here. Can the condition thing be done? There are other methods also. I'll show you. Don't worry. This is just the beginning.
So because if we have like another like bracket here, like dev prod, maybe even test. So how are you gonna like implement this using the?
That's what I'm saying. List and mapping. So that will come. Give me time till tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll show you how list and mapping is done.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because one question. So I mean, you created a condition, right, for choosing a production or dev actually. So I later joined. So this condition is used for like what? I mean,
this condition is just to say that there is a TF-var based on which I'm passing a value, and based on this, it is getting evaluated. Just that single line is what I'm trying to show you there. That's it.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't go by the words. I will especially tell you when to do what. Give me some time for it. Tomorrow. I'll show you that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, fine. See you then, guys.